You ever get that feeling? Like, you know how everyone always says the drifter's got secrets?
Hmm.
Well, what if I told you there's like this whole record out there, a document, detailing his moves, his motives.
Okay.
It's called a drifter's gambit.
Right.
And it reads like someone's been keeping tabs on him for a long time.
Yeah, what's interesting about this is that it's not just some gossipy guardian with, a notepad and a
Right.
they're keeping notes, but this is someone who calls themselves the Renegade.
Okay.
And they're directly involved with the drifter.
Okay, a renegade.
They're working with him.
So they're in deep, but they're also keeping a record.
But clearly walking this line between fascination and fear.
So like a spy thriller, but in space.
Right.
With the drifter.
Yeah.
What's their deal? Why are they watching him so closely?
So the document, it doesn't reveal all of its secrets at once.
Okay.
It unfolds like a mystery. But the Renegade, they seem particularly interested in the drifter's past.
Oh, okay.
Especially his early days as a guardian.
Right, because it's like the moment the ghost brings him back.
Yeah.
He basically went, see ya.
Right.
Took off for parts unknown, didn't exactly stick around to help, rebuild the walls or anything like that.
And that's the thing. That is very unusual for a guardian.
Yeah.
Because, most are driven by duty.
Traveler's light.
By the light, exactly.
Right.
The drifter spends decades on the edges of the system collecting these strange relics from places. Okay, are you ready for some names?
Hit me.
Luvial crux.
Okay.
The shift chasms below Helios.
Those names. It's like you went on a road trip to the galaxy's most, dangerous rest stops.
Right.
But why?
Yeah.
Is he running from something, or is he searching for something specific?
That is the million-dollar question.
Right.
The Renegade speculates that his past is shrouded in shadows, which, that could mean anything in the world of destiny.
Yeah.
But it's interesting how the Renegade notes that he seemed more fascinated by the power of the artifacts that he found, not so much their history, where they've been, anything like that.
More interested in what it can do, less about where it's been.
Yes.
Yeah, that definitely paints a picture of a guy who's looking to acquire some serious power.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And we know he eventually returns to the Last City, right?
Right.
With a dangerous game up his sleeve.
Oh.
Gambit.
Right.
He presents it as this competition.
Right.
A way to train guardians against the Taken.
Yeah. Here, bank those moats, clear those blockers. Oh, and by the way, we might be messing around with extra dimensional forces, but it's fine.
Right, exactly.
Just don't worry about it.
But the Renegade's account, it reveals that Gambit is even riskier than most guardians realize.
Okay.
Remember that artifact he brought back?
Yeah.
The one he claims is from a place cold enough to snuff out your light.
Oh, yeah. That thing gave me the creeps. What was it, like some kind of, Taken voodoo doll or something?
Not quite.
Okay.
He used it along with this hodgepodge of, tech he had to capture a piece of the Ascendant Plane.
Okay.
Imagine, a pocket dimension.
Okay.
And get this. He's trapped a whole army of Taken.
An army.
Yeah.
He has a Taken army just, chilling in his basement dimension.
Pretty much.
Why am I just hearing about this now?
Well, because that's the thing. He never told anyone.
What?
Not the Vanguard.
Naomi.
Not Ikora.
She practically wrote the book on the Taken.
Exactly. And the Renegade is understandably concerned.
Concerned. I'd be terrified.
Right.
He claims it's to study them, to master the Taken.
Yeah.
But the Drifter isn't exactly known for his, transparency,
Right.
This feels like the tip of a very, very dangerous iceberg.
Yes. And here's where things get even more interesting.
Oh.
The Renegade, they're not just passively observing the Drifter.
Okay.
They need him for...
Specifically, his gambit for their own plan.
Okay, this long con they keep mentioning, give me a taste.
Okay.
What are we talking about here? What's the Renegade's endgame?
So, to understand their plan,
we
need to talk about another name that the Renegade brings up.
Okay.
A name that sends chills down any guardian's spine. Callum.
Callum. Wait a minute. As in Dredgenyor.
Yes?
The infamous Guardian Gone Rogue deleted his own ghost Callum.
The one and only.
Okay.
And according to the Renegade, the Drifter played a crucial role in leading them to Callum.
Okay.
This is where their history gets very tangled.
So we've got a Renegade on the Drifter's trail.
Yeah.
A Taken army in a bottle. And now Dredgenyor is somehow involved.
Yes.
I am so in over my head right now.
You're just getting started.
But in a good way.
Yes.
This whole Callum thing has me like, I don't know, my head's spinning a little bit.
Yeah.
We've got the Renegade hunting down Dredgenyor.
With the Drifter, like, somehow caught in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
What's the link?
Yeah.
And how does it tie into this whole plan the Renegade's cooking up?
Well, that's the mystery, isn't it?
Right.
The source material, it kind of like dances around the specifics.
Okay.
But it's clear that the Renegade, they've got this like beef with Callum.
Yeah.
It's deeply personal.
You picked up on that too. They keep using his real name.
I did.
Callum.
Yeah.
Even though like everyone knows him as Dredgenyor.
Right.
It's like there's history there,
Exactly.
beyond just, we're hunting a dangerous guardian.
Right. It's not just professional.
Yeah.
It's personal.
Yeah.
And the way the Renegade describes him, it's almost like they see Callum as this like cautionary tale,
Okay.
a possible future for the Drifter if he's not careful.
Because both Callum and the Drifter were drawn to the darkness.
It's certainly a factor.
Okay.
But I think there's more to it than just that. Okay.
The Renegade needed something from Callum.
Okay.
Something they couldn't get any other way.
And that's where the Drifter comes in.
Yes.
He helps him get to Callum. And in exchange,
the
Renegade's like, all right, we'll let you live.
Perhaps.
Sounds like a dangerous bargain, man.
It does. But remember, the Drifter's motives are always
shady.
Murky. Yeah. He may have had his own reasons for leading the Renegade to Callum.
Okay.
Callum, they deal with Callum.
Okay.
That's when the Renegade lays out their full plan.
Okay.
And it's a doozy.
All right. Enough with teases here.
Yeah.
What's the plan?
Okay.
What does any of this have to do with Gambit and this Taken army?
Okay, so buckle up because this is where it gets a little wild.
Okay.
The Renegade, they want to control the narrative.
Okay.
Around Dredgenyor.
Okay.
To turn him into a symbol.
A symbol of what? Like, don't be a jerk or you'll, Right.
Get hunted down by a renegade.
Not quite.
Okay.
They want to make him a boogeyman.
Okay.
A cautionary tale.
Okay.
They want Guardians to fear becoming Dredgenyor.
Okay.
To fear the darkness that he embraced.
Hold on.
Yeah.
That's
a little messed up.
It's incredibly manipulative.
Yeah.
And dangerous. Like, what if that backfires?
Right. Yeah.
What if instead of scaring Guardians away from the darkness, it draws them in?
That's the gamble.
Right.
The Renegade is betting on fear.
Okay.
As a deterrent.
Okay.
They believe that by turning Dredgenyor into the symbol of the dangers of the darkness, right?
Yeah.
That they can keep other Guardians from going down the same path.
But fear is a fickle thing, right?
It is.
It can make you hesitate, but it can also make you reckless.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And that's why the Drifter is crucial for the Renegade's plan.
Okay.
They need him to spread the legend of Dredgenyor, to cultivate that fear.
Because he's already got that whole mysterious, spooky vibe going on, right?
I got it, exactly.
He is, here be dragons on a star chart.
He is, yes, he is.
Talking around.
And his Gambit plays right into their hands.
Okay.
Remember those lines from the source.
Yeah.
Let the Guardians taste the darkness, right?
Yeah.
But make sure they know the price.
Wait, is the Renegade saying the Gambit is designed to tempt Guardians with the darkness?
Yes.
To push them towards the edge, just like Dredgenyor?
That is the implication. And it is a chilling one.
Yeah.
The Renegade believes that by giving Guardians a taste, right? By letting them confront it in a controlled environment, like Gambit, that they can inoculate them against it.
Like a vaccine.
Yeah.
A little bit of poison to build up an immunity.
Right.
Except with the darkness, how do you know it won't just
Right, how do you control it?
Take hold.
Right.
You can't.
And that's the terrifying brilliance of this plan.
Right.
They're playing with fire, hoping to control the flames.
Right.
But the Drifter,
he's
the wild card in all of this.
Because even the Renegade says they don't fully trust him.
Exactly.
They just need him to play his part.
And that begs the question.
Yeah.
What happens when the Drifter decides he doesn't want to play by anyone's rules?
Right.
But his own.
So the Renegade's playing this long game, this dangerous game.
Right.
With the Drifter as the pawn? Or is he?
That's the question, right?
Because he's got that whole chaotic neutral thing going on.
Right.
I'm not so sure he's anyone's pawn.
Is he a willing participant in this scheme?
Yes.
Or does he have his own agenda?
Right.
I mean, this is the Drifter we're talking about.
Right, exactly.
He thrives on chaos, on blurring the lines.
Right.
Remember his little motto? Maybes are where the real treasure hides.
Oh, yeah.
This whole dredge and yor thing, this is just another gamble for him.
Yep.
Another chance to see what happens when you poke the bear.
Right.
Or in this case, the darkness.
Yeah, and the Renegade's counting on that, right?
Yeah, they need that.
They need his knack for walking on that wild side.
Right.
For getting Guardians to try things they normally wouldn't.
Yes.
Even if it means, dipping their toes into the darkness.
Yeah,
right?
It's like they're playing with a double-edged sword.
Oh, yeah.
They want Dredge and Yor to be this cautionary tale.
Right.
But what if by putting him in the spotlight, they create this whole new generation of Guardians that don't see him as a villain, but they see him as someone who found a different kind of power.
Right, yeah. Instead of shying away from the darkness, they're running towards it.
Yes.
Yeah.
The Renegade, they acknowledge this in the document.
Okay.
They even say, they're wrestling with the morality of their own plan.
Right.
They know they're walking a fine line between, safeguarding the city and pushing Guardians towards the very thing they fear.
And the Drifter. Where does he stand in all of this?
Right.
Is he a true believer?
Right.
Or is he just along for the ride?
The document, it offers these glimpses into his thoughts.
Okay.
But he's a master of keeping his cards close to his chest.
He's always got a plan or...
Yeah, he plays the role of the charming rogue.
Right.
But there are moments when the Renegade describes this chilling coldness in his eyes,
Okay.
Like he sees things differently.
It's unsettling.
It is unsettling.
To think that he might be playing like a deeper game here. One that even the Renegade isn't aware of. What does that mean for us?
Exactly.
For the Guardians listening right now.
Yeah. Are we pawns?
Trying to,
in a game that we don't fully understand.
Yeah. The Renegade, they disappear back into the shadows.
Okay.
But not before leaving the Drifter with one final chilling request.
Keep track of any Guardian who takes on the mantle of Dredgen.
It's a haunting thought. To think that somebody out there is watching, waiting to see who among us
who's going to stumble,
is going to be tempted.
Who's going to be tempted
by that power.
By the power that Dredge and Yor embrace.
Right.
They're watching to see if the Drifter's game, this Gambit, is going to create more villains than heroes.
And that's where we have to leave it for today. More questions than answers.
Always.
The Drifter, the Renegade, Dredge and Yor, they're all pieces of a much larger puzzle.
They are.
And it just keeps getting bigger.
Right.
Guardians, what will you do? What choices will you make?
It's a dangerous world out there.
Knowing that the line between the light and dark, it's blurry, and even the best intentions can have consequences that we can't even imagine.
Be careful out there, Guardians.
Choose wisely.